Alright, so tonight we're doing something a little bit different. I'm going to attempt to fix a coffee maker that is not working and take you through at least some of the troubleshooting stuff that I do to check some of the electronics, right? So it's a little bit different, but it's gonna help somebody someday, I guess. Alright, so here's what we have. Um, it's not getting warm any at all, so I'm going to do some continuity testing. I'm using the tester, so I'll switch that over to here to test for continuity, right? And I want to put this somewhere that you can see it, or in fact you'll hear it whenever it beeps. So whenever I touch the two links together, if you can hear that beep, that means that there's continuity. So the circuit in here is fairly simple. There is a switch, there's a 110 wire coming in. Be sure to disconnect it before you start working on it. And there is one device here that you might not be familiar with, which is a thermostat. And this is what initiates the heating process, right? It regulates. It is the same type of thermostat found, well, it shouldn't be the same type, but it is the same thermostat found inside your dryer, right? And the dryer circuit is fairly simple to also. So the idea is that if this has continuity, which is normally the first thing you check, then we're good. So that has continuity, that means that the thermostat is good. So this is going to be a little bit of issue. So I'll test individual wires. I could probably start from, to make sure that my wire here is okay. So I'll connect this to this pole, to this particular wire, and it should go to the switch somewhere in here, and should be off of the other one. So this is telling me that this wire is actually good. Again, we're just checking continuity for the other one. I'll switch it around, and so this tells me that the other wire is okay too. So I'm sure that this entire wire that plugs into the wall is okay. I'm sure my thermostat is okay. Let me check the switch. These two wires, I don't know if you can see that from the switch itself, but what I'm doing is that I'm touching, let me see if I could focus into this. I'm touching from the switch here to here that leads outside. So from the negative to the one that leads this way, right? And then I'll also check when I turn on the switch, these two should be connected. So hope I don't confuse you. So when I touch this here on negative, it should go direct, and that's okay. When I touch the positive to the other one, see, there's no noise. But when I put on the switch, it should continue then, and it does. So that means that my switch is also good. Alright, so let's look at this one. When I touch here, and this wire coming to the thermostat, and this will allow me to check this blue wire and also this white wire. So when I touch here, that tells me that this blue wire is okay. When I touch here, thermostat is okay. When I touch over here, it tells me then that this white wire is also okay. So only one wire remains that I can test, and that is this white wire here. So if I am to just verify that the lead inside here that does the heating, that is okay. So I'll touch from here to the inside here, and so that means that this core is also okay. So one wire remaining, and that is this white wire, which I would have to test from here by the switch to thermostat. Something is wrong, but I already checked this one and the core, so that's okay. So when I touch it here, this tells me that this white wire may be faulty. So this might be the wire that I need to change. Now normally these wires don't go bad. It just means that in this case, which is a rarity, that the wire is not good. So there's no continuity with this wire. So I'm going to have to change this wire in order to get this coffee maker back up and running. Everything else is okay. So let me see if I can do that, if I have ends and everything here. If I don't, then I'll try to get the gauge of the wire I'm using and see if I could replace it with something that will work also. So I'm just gonna unplug this from here, get that out of the way, and I also could plug it from behind the switch so it's easy to come out. So there are both ends. More than likely it's just broken in one of these areas. So let me do one more test since I've taken it off. So I'm direct end to end. And there is nothing. So definitely this wire is gone. I'll try to see if I can redo that end. Alright, so here's something new. I was looking for this, couldn't find out where it was, but it actually has in a fuse. When I drag the wire backwards, there's a fuse here, an inline fuse. So when I put the tester here on one side, I lost my other lead, and here on the other, there is no continuity. So this fuse is actually blown. The wire is actually good. That's on one end of the wire, and that's on the other end going that way. So the wire is actually good. It's this fuse that is blown. So I'll have to find a replacement fuse for this. Oh. So there is our little problem. Little problem was the thermal fuse is blown, and so got a replacement for the thermal fuse and added it into the maker back, placing back the wire where it belongs. And I'm gonna close this up and make some coffee. Right? So the only two things that could have gone wrong was the thermostat and or the thermal fuse, which is in line, which I didn't see because it was covered. Right? But this is the first time taking down a coffee maker. So mission accomplished. For the trial. Everything dirty, but remember we're just trying, so. Yeah. Right. Hear the sound? Coffee maker back in full effect. Needs to be clean now, right? But that's it. So we just a change of fuse, and we got it back up and running. And that's because I parked it one side because I thought it couldn't be fixed. So like always, leave some comments below. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and of course, go out and just geek yourself.